Hey everybody, I'm Ignatius and welcome to another episode of In the Interest of, where I showcase indie games old or new and give you my thoughts after having played them. Today, we're making a video in the interest of The Last Tinker, City of Colors, graciously gifted to me by Me Games. Me Games. The Last Tinker releases on Steam on May 12th for $22, and I need to clarify quickly that in the footage you're about to see, I use a gamepad to play the game, which I highly recommend that you do as well. The Last Tinker is a game reminiscent of titles such as Banjo-Kazooie and some of the great PS2 action adventures like Jak and Daxter, for example. While its inspirations are clear, as soon as you launch the game, it becomes apparent that The Last Tinker is something so lovingly crafted that it stands well on its own. You play as Koru, a monkey-looking kid in Tinker World, where thoughts drive creation and less than subtle races and parallelisms divide the brightly colored inhabitants. The reds are angry, the blues are depressed, and the greens are cowardly. You're all the colors though, because you're Koru, the best fighter and the most mobile resident in all of the city. Koru reminds me a lot of a superhero Aladdin with the spirit of Simba and a cocky sidekick. Speaking of which, the game's story plays like a Disney adventure feels, which is such a great feeling. The story and visuals and atmosphere is so reminiscent of a classic animated movie that it tickles my heart places. Made in the Unity 3D engine, The Last Tinker's visuals are colorful, charming, and unique, and immediately captured my heart the moment I laid eyes on it. The music fits with the situations the game places you in, and even though they're not as memorable as tracks from Banjo-Kazooie, for example, they still suffice in building the atmosphere of the world that the game has created. The UI and the rest of the sound design is congruent with the aesthetic, and it's really cutesy, but it still conveys whatever information needs to be conveyed. Something that The Last Tinker is polished. The Last Tinker is less of a collectathon than games like Banjo-Kazooie. The game is set to a linear progression path, but the areas you traverse are open enough to encourage some exploration, and find these golden paintbrushes for the cardboard Bob Ross over here. Unlike Banjo-Kazooie, it doesn't have a myriad of collectibles as far as I can tell, just these paintbrushes. So it's a bit less of a collectathon in that sense. Each area is separated by a loading screen and a door, or whatever the hell this is, and has its own set of collectibles. I found myself not beelining straight for the quest marker, but taking the time to really live in the world, explore, and find these paintbrushes, as well as just immersing myself in what the game has to offer me. The world in The Last Tinker is something that Me has really put a lot of attention to detail in. The whole mythos and history of the color spirits and the division of races over time plays an integral role in the story, and when walking around the stages you can see dialogue between NPCs and also some that address you directly. Not things that you prompt or things that are necessary to the story, but just things that happen as you walk to them, and they just pop up as you walk by. It's a small touch, but it makes the world feel so alive and hides nuggets of story that players who cared about the details could easily find themselves perusing. Each quest and side quest is distinctly unique, making doing each one rewarding and fun as hell. One mission had me guiding this bomber guy to all these mushroom paths, but I couldn't fit under an arch, so I had to parkour my way around it and then call him over. And right after that, fun little puzzle, I had to do a stealth mission and sneak around this tower. It really helps to make the game feel like the world wasn't made for you, and rather you're a proponent, an important one at that, but you're just a proponent in a world that already exists, and makes it feel like a true adventure. As you can probably tell, I love this game a lot, but it doesn't mean it's without its flaws. You cannot be faulted for saying that The Last Tinker is a casual game. There's nothing wrong with that, but it becomes apparent just how easy the combat, and indeed the whole game, is on the normal difficulty, especially. Koru is an absolute beast in combat, it feels, with incredibly fast punches and artful dodges. It feels great and fluid, but incredibly non-threatening and even shallow at times. Health is abundant in crates and barrels scattered around maps, and if you do die, you just respawn the Last Tinker seed, which are littered everywhere. Combat gets more varied as time goes on, and as Koru gets more abilities to employ, which is great for the character progression purposes, but from what I've played so far, they haven't been necessary in combat as much as they have been necessary in puzzle solving. Shooting red paint is cool and all to make rocks explode so that you can progress through the level, but when fighting the white monsters trying to destroy the City of Color, I could just punch them in the face instead for faster results. Despite the lack of difficulty, the combat still feels fluid and good, even though you never really feel in any sort of danger. Would I recommend The Last Tinker? Absolutely! The game's story and premise and the polish with which its ideas are executed makes this game worth a buy in my opinion. The characters are great and relatable, and the story is such a great tale to follow. The world feels fleshed out with amazing side quests, and combat is fun and flows smoothly even though it's super easy. I'll probably even be starting Let's Play of this game, so if you want to see some more gameplay you can watch for that in the near future. Thank you for watching this episode of In the Interest of The Last Tinker, City of Colors. If the game interested you, be sure to check it out on May 12th on Steam. Link in the description. Remember to like and favorite the video if you liked it, and leave a comment below of your thoughts on the game if you try it. I would love to hear from you. It would also be much appreciated if you could leave some feedback from me so that I can improve these videos for you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more indie interest ofs and Let's Plays and guides as well in the near future. Thanks guys. Real quickly, I want to apologize for the sporadic upload schedules recently. Lots of ISP problems have been plaguing me, and I want to stick to my once-a-day schedule so badly, and I feel really bad when I miss a day, but once all the problems are resolved, I will do my due diligence to make sure you get your video every day. But for now, I'm just trying to make sure that I get videos out at all. Thank you for understanding, and I'll see you later. Peace! Ignatius.com